golden year time, and joining us from Manic Street Preachers, we have Nicky Wire and James Dean Bradfield. Lovely to see you.
Hello. You too, Kent. Nice to be back.
Oh, you're looking fit and well and ready for a big tour this year.
Yeah, it's a busy year coming up. But promo trail is heavy work at the moment.
So yeah, album, single, tour. So do you start off with an idea of the whole album, or do you just get songs and see where it leads you?
A lot of the time we do start with a bit of a concept, which is usually driven by the lyrics and perhaps me with the title. And certainly previous albums have done that, Futurology, Ultra Vivid Lament, even This Is My Truth. But I think with this album, it was a much more sort of inspirational record where wherever we had the moment, we're lucky enough to go to our own studio. So if we have that moment of inspiration, we just pile in and we create as quickly and as practically as we can. Yeah. So I don't think it's really particularly thematic. It's just the joy of still being able to create, really, at our age, and still have people who want to hear us.
Yeah. And you're still writing. I mean, it's not as if you're saying, right, we've done enough now. You're constantly.
Yes, it was always fun. It was always the biggest thrill. Just I think, in terms of, you can go for playing live, you can go for being on TV, but like writing a song is still the most interesting part of being in a band. I think all our words are just fun to sing. Sometimes it's a bit of a battle. But that's good. I love the physical aspect of what it's been being the singer in the band. There's a lot of words there sometimes. Sometimes there's an open disregard for punctuation. And I like it that way. But it's changed, and that gave us somewhere to go. And now, like, if you look at lyrics like, if you tolerate this and Design for Life, they flow so beautifully. We've been everything, and we've had a chance to go somewhere. But kind of just writing songs has always been just a fascinating thing for us, I think.
And when you hear those words coming back, being sung back at you when you're doing these live shows, like in Glasgow or Swansea or the Shepherd's Bush Empire, everybody knows the songs and they're coming back. That must be a lovely feeling.
It is, no matter how cynical and as I creep towards old age I get, it's still a remarkable feeling, really. To think of when me and James wrote our first song together when we were 15 in school, and last year a comp, I think it was, or last but one, 1985. It's pretty amazing to think that we're still resonating in people's lives after all these years.
Yeah, and the magic is still there. You're still writing.
I think the insatiable quest to still write some sort of perfect song is unceasing. It's unending for us. We might never get there, but we might have done it already. I don't know, but. It's certainly, like Jim said, playing live is all those things. Other things are brilliant, but actually writing songs, hearing them on the radio and stuff is still the most amazing experience.
Well, we're going to ask you to choose a few songs by other people now for the year you've gone for, 1984. Well, I mean, you were teenagers then, weren't you? Still at school.
We were 15, yeah.
Well, let's look at the first song you've chosen. It's Pretenders, Back on the Chain Gang. Nicky, is this your choice?
Yeah, so I chose this. Now, it's a bit convoluted because I think the single might have come out in 82, but the album came out in 84. So Learning to Crawl.
That's all right.
And it's on the album. And it's just such a gracious song. And I remember watching Chrissy Hind on Top of the Pops, that era, just totally blown away by her coolness. She just stood out from everything you saw in those days.
And she's still cool.
She absolutely is cool. Really is.
The Pretenders, Back on the Chain Gang, 1984. Nicky and James from Manic Street Preachers, their golden year. Next up, it's Thompson Twins with Dr. Doctor. Now, why that one?
I used to record, like many others of my, video, Top of the Pops, record it, and then watch these things over and over and over. And I loved the Thompson Twins. I loved his haircut. The singer, I forgot his name.
Tom.
Yeah, Tom. Yeah. I loved his haircut so much.
Joe Leeway was the percussionist with fingerless gloves.
Yeah.
He kind of had dreads. He was a cool dude.
Yeah.
Alana was the other one.
Oh my
God, my brain still works.
That's good. This is great stuff.
Yeah. And he was a great songwriter, Tom. He really was. He was really, and kind of, Sean had the first album, which had this hit on there, We Are Detectives.
It's beautifully produced as well.
It is, yes.
Immaculate. So many of these records are just immaculate.
Dr. Doctor by Thompson Twins. James and Nicky from Manic Street Preachers are with me today. We'll hear your final choice from 1984 in just a moment. But I wanted to ask you how you first became aware of music. Did you hear it a lot at home?
I think we were all into music. I think we grew up in an
start.
era where our parents really influenced us.
Yeah.
Our parents had lots of Neil Diamond records and Elvis records and Stones records. And my mum played lots of Sinatra.
Demis Roussos was big in our household.
Yeah.
Del Shannon, Badfinger. Like my mum and dad had a kind of 7-inch of Come and Get It by Badfinger, which is just lots of those kind of Ronco compilations.
Yeah.
Where you'd hear a song like Cry Like a Baby by the Box Tops,
Yeah.
And so my mum was always singing in the kitchen. My mum had a brilliant voice, really, really good singer. And I think that was one of her big releases, singing in the kitchen and baking. When she was angry, she'd sing and bake.
Much like yourself.
Should have become the Manic Street Bakers, I suppose. So I was in choir from the age of 9, I think. So I was in the choir for 3-4 years, and I loved that. It just felt like there was music all around, really.
Don't It Make My Brown Eyes Blue, I remember, by Crystal Gale.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What a song.
So played so many times in our house.
Beautiful.
Such a gorgeous song. And then, I sort of graduated to Whitesnake, Black Sabbath, Rainbow, Deep Purple. I guess that was my first. My brother was really into Rush. So a lot of rock stroke metal was my real indoctrination then into sort of, I used to have a denim jacket and I'd painted a white snake on the back.
Excellent. Excellent.
Bit of patchouli juice in there.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us nicely to today's final song, Jump by Van Halen.
Now we're getting into my heritage. I first got into Van Halen when they did Pre-Woman, the cover of Roy Orbison's Pre-Woman. It's an electrifying cover version. They did Kinks as well, didn't they?
Yes, you really got me, yeah.
Yeah, they did You Really Got Me, and it really showcased Eddie Van Halen's sort of stratospheric guitar techniques. We used to do Jump as an intro to Motown Junk, is that right?
We did, yeah.
So I think Jump is the ultimate rock pop crossover. It did things that no other rock band had done for about 10-20 years, the way that everyone loved that song, even though it's quite a cheesy kind of riff in some respects, but just a phenomenal execution, amazing band, the bass sound.
Not cheesy.
No.
It's been too harsh on that. Lovely. Thank you so much. Just to let everybody know, Critical Thinking is out now. It's the album. And this tour, April and May, round the country. A couple of nights in Glasgow, Shepherd's Bush, Wolverhampton, Bristol, Manchester, Swansea. Lovely to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you.